Hey everyone, Izzy here. Welcome to another episode of Valuart Podcast. Today we'll be interviewing Ruben Fro in view of his upcoming Valuart Solos from April 21st to April 23rd here at the Valuart Gallery in Lugano, Paradiso. Ruben Fro is an award-winning VFX artist and director who uses point clouds and volumetric effects for music videos, movies, and commercials. In this interview, we'll find out all about his artistic journey, the works that will be exposed at the Valuart Solos, and all about his expertise in the gaming industry. Hi, Ruben. Thank you for being here today with us to talk about your upcoming Valuart Solos. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks, and I'm really happy to be here.
Amazing. So I'd love to kick off this interview by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your artistic journey. In particular, saw that you work with real-time visual effects. So I'm going to leave the stage to you to really to give us a little bit of an intro.
Sure. So I'm originally from a small town near Florence, and I moved to Tokyo around, I guess, 15 years ago or something like that. And my career in visual effects started quite recently, to be honest, like 3 years ago. But I've always been interested in this, art and technology. But before visual effects, I explored so many different things, and I was doing, music and photography, web design, app development in the last before starting this career in visual effects. And basically, everything started, like, I guess, in just before the pandemic, when with a couple of friends we started a series of real-time art installations that were basically about capturing cities and creating like a software to have people move through this city, and everything was falling apart. And so at this time, I really, loved the idea of capturing places in 3D, and then creating software, creating experiences to change these places and create dynamic worlds, ever changing. And just when the pandemic started, I visited Vietnam and recorded so many places there. And one of these places in Hanoi, I created a video using this technology, and basically it's photogrammetry. So it is capturing places with photo and video and turning them into 3D particle system. And one of these videos that I made became quite popular, and so that's basically how I started doing visual effects. I started with this video online. People enjoyed it, and I started getting requests for commercials, music video, and I said, okay, I was doing app development. I don't really enjoy that anymore. I'm going to start again, and that's basically how I started 3 years ago. Reinvented that, yeah.
That's amazing. And you mentioned, the music videos, and I was actually looking at your works, and I saw you did quite like some really cool ones, like the one for Green Juice by Zapford and Farrell. Can you tell us a little bit about that one? I was like super curious about that one in particular.
Yeah. I've been so lucky, I guess, when I started doing this kind of work that, I've always loved music, and I always wanted to work on music videos for a long time. And so I had a chance to really connect with so many people, artists, during these 3 years, from, Pharrell, Ferg was he's probably the biggest one, but also Rez, and Japanese band like Perfume, that they're quite big, and brands like even Acronym, McLaren, Virgin, so much stuff I had the chance to do. And for Green Juice was really cool because so the director, Valentin Petit, is an amazing person, is very talented, and he really liked what I was doing in terms of visual effects, this kind of dissolving worlds. And he asked me a couple of years ago if I was interested in making a video with him visual effects for one music video. But that project basically didn't go forward. So he got stuck like 1 year. And I remember after 1 year, 10 months, something like that, I got a call from Valentin, and he asked me, would you be interested to do a music video, featuring Pharrell Williams? And I was like, yeah, come on, for sure. So,
no.
yeah, and it was interesting because everything at the time was basically middle of the pandemic. So the main production with the director was in Paris, in France. I was in Tokyo. The visual effects house was in Paris, but all the shooting was happening in New York. So it was all basically remotely controlled, and we had people like with the scanning places, recording, and so it was kind of hard, kind of long time it took, but it was really, really interesting, and it was nice. And Asa Ferg is really a great guy. He sent us like videos, talking with us about everything, and yeah, an amazing experience. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fly to New York or whatever to meet them because we were all stuck basically. But yeah, it's been like a great thing, and yeah. I never imagined like in a couple of years to make, to start and make a video for Asa Ferg, for sure.
Awesome. And what like really transpires in your works is like that really dynamic element to it, right? So has this always, in the evolution of your practice throughout the years, has this always been something that you've been really attached to in your works, or has it come along in the way?
Yeah, I think it's probably because I really enjoyed. One thing is that I enjoy music and music video and fast things changing on screen, and at the same time I'm working real time. So all my stuff that I do, all my art and video, it comes from some coding that I did, and everything is running in real time. So when I'm working on a music video or art or whatever, I always have this ability to create things and to be, to don't wait for rendering times. So I'm just creating everything real time. I can just play, go back, forward, and be very dynamic. So that's why, even in the music video that I did and other things like that, I'm always like really going into the moment, trying to add parts. So it's everything I do is very dynamic, more like on the video aspect than on single, artworks that is more static. And
absolutely,
yeah.
And also, so you're very fond of music, but also being that you're also head of cinematics at JADU. Is that how you pronounce it? I want to be sure that
JADU is called.
JADU.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about also your relationship with also the gaming industry? I read in particular from Twitter that now you guys are working on a multiplayer AR gaming. So
fighting game. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you can't reveal like too much yet since it hasn't been released, but I'd love to have like more insight on that and your relationship also with gaming, how it connects with your passion with music and arts. I'd love to know more about that.
For sure. It has been interesting working with JADU, and I basically knew the CEO of JADU SR before we started this project, because we worked before on a music video. He was directing and I was creating a 3D world of a music video for Pussy Riot and Panic Attack. So we did that, and we became friends, and I started doing some works for them. And in the end, they really wanted me to join the company to basically curate their video production and commercials and everything. And last year I decided, okay, yeah, let's join that. And even for me, it was quite of a new experience, because I've been basically always working by myself. So now joining this team, and we are all remotely working, but basically we are a team, and it's really exciting. We have a crazy team. They're so talented and so many people there, and we are trying to build this experience that is basically a shared, augmented multiplayer fighting game. And there are so many challenges to solve, but it's really, I mean, a really interesting thing to, to try to do, and it's something new that I haven't seen in other places. So yeah, I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure you can't
it's
reveal
very
too much, but
yeah.
I'm
I can
extremely
talk. Yeah,
interested.
we
I
do
mean,
have some release coming, but I mean, you can even now you can download and join a beta, so it's available and
but is it
on the
like what kind
website.
of device do you have to have? Like, is it from like do I have to have like a particular headset, or do I just like
It's
connect?
on. It is on the smartphone. So as long as you
Oh,
have right now, I think it's just on the iPhone. Probably one of the newest iPhone. You can play that. So we are
okay.
still like in a quite limited beta, and you can challenge people from all over the world and meet in your room and fight with them, and they're in the room. So
Cool.
in the it's still developing, but yeah, it's nice. And we had our first release last year. It was however, a quite different thing. It was an NFT collection at the time that we did, and even for that one was really cool because I had the chance to work with Michael Bay. I mean, a director like Michael Bay, and for the trailers. So we did this collaboration, and that was really exciting as well. But now it's all basically trying to make the game, and hopefully I'm yeah, this year is going to happen. So this year is going to be like open release. But
AR.
yeah, I can tell
Yeah,
more.
the next big thing. Cool. So I know what to do after, our interview. I'll download it and I'll make Giorgio download it as well, and then we'll
Yeah,
start.
you should. We can fight from
Cool.
all over the world.
And also, I love that you mentioned that you guys also did a project connecting, gaming with NFTs. Like, what's your view in the evolution of gaming tied to NFTs?
It is interesting. So our first collection was called Eva, and it was a series of robots, basically more than 1,000 robots that was sold on OpenSea. And right now, if you download the app, and you can play with your own characters that you collected. So it is. I think it's an interesting thing to explore the connection between NFT and gaming. At the same time, we need to be aware that maybe on the smartphone side, on Apple, their policy with NFT can be quite tricky. So there is a lot to work on. While that's probably why a lot of games have been doing, PC, running on PC instead of apps on the smartphone. That's one issue. But I feel it will come into places eventually, but it's not going to be as easy, I feel like. So at least for the smartphone side.
Yeah, I was aware. I heard some news, that also like in the description, you have to be super careful to not include in the app store like any keywords like related to NFTs, and if you sell them, then you're practically off the
True.
your app. So yeah, I heard
Yeah,
there's a
that's
lot of
true.
struggle there. Yeah, and
So it is. I feel it's it's something that is still developing. So things may change, but of course, as a developer, I feel like we at JADU, we are mostly thinking about the product. It has to be before thinking about NFT right now. It's mostly about creating something that has value. A really cool game, a really cool app, and then we will see how to connect everything together. But we just don't want to push the NFT just for the NFT itself, it has to be like a great game before everything else.
Couldn't agree more. Definitely. But, also going back to like NFTs, I'd love to know more, shifting to your artistic path and your relationship with NFTs. I'd love to know more about, when you came to connect with this world and, how your creative process has developed in this sense with this medium.
Yeah, for me it was easy to do these kind of steps between changing from digital art and then entering into the NFT world, because I was basically doing the same before NFTs. I was doing videos for Instagram and just for likes and exposure. But when NFT came, I wasn't. I have to admit, at first, I wasn't really sure how everything works, so I had to, to study things there. And my first experience was probably with the first launch with Pussy Riot, the music video Panic Attack. They had also an NFT release, and that was really nice and interesting, and a very good way to introduce, to learn about NFTs, because it did very well, and a very good part of this, the sales went to help like people in need, and it was really for charity. So it was really, really cool to see how NFT could, make something very good and be something positive. And after that, I basically joined Iket Nunk, that I think even Giorgio knows very well, and
Very
he
well.
has like very big T-shirts. And that's where I love the NFT world, and I felt at the time it was really, really special, because it was a community first and all, and this community was really close, and we were just sharing it pieces and buying each other's, and it evolved a lot since then, but I still I still have this kind of image of Iket Nung still in my heart for that, but yeah, everything is evolving, and we need to evolve.
So what, with this, you answering Hikit Nunk and you seeing its evolution, what would you say inspires you most on a daily basis for your works? The community,
Oh,
sort of, what is that
yeah.
drives you most?
There's so much. I mean, it's not just even the community or art itself. I mean, I like to find inspiration everywhere. So from everything. Even I really like to go around, to just wander around and just walk endlessly. And sometimes you find this kind of, especially in a city like Tokyo where I live, these kind of hidden places, and nobody's passing through, even if it's a city of so many people. And when you walk through these kind of streets and places, I really like the atmosphere that they give me to me. How those places makes me feel, and that's basically what inspires me the most. Traveling, like trying new things, exploring, and writing everything down, and trying to capture that moment, and creating a video or a piece that connects to that moment. And besides that, I mean, even online, if you look at all the things that have been shared online on the creativity and NFT and Twitter or whatever, there's so much going on all the time, even too much, and that's one
That's
thing,
also a
because
topic.
yeah.
But it's amazing, when you were talking, describing what inspires you. Actually, when I look at your works, I feel as if I'm transported into a journey myself. So it was great hearing from you. And speaking of journey, with your upcoming Valuart Solos, I'd love to know if you've already decided which works will be exposed and what will be the theme of your Valuart Solos.
I think it will be dissolving realities. So this is my series about 3D locations that I scan and brought into this kind of animated worlds made by points that dissolve, and it really connects both to my love about point cloud photogrammetry, 3D scanning, as well as wandering, exploring, and taking reality. These kind of moments that you can find anywhere in the world, and taking those kind of moments and deconstructing them into a computer, like all this video dissolving. So it will mostly be about that, about these locations and captured dissolving worlds and music, because even there, most of my videos, I also compose the soundtracks and the music. Sometimes I also use like field recording from the place where I 3D scan. So yeah, it will mostly be dissolving realities.
Amazing. So we're absolutely, I can't wait, really. And do you think that you'll be able to come also here and, visit anytime soon? Or do you have any travels that you're planning? I didn't even ask
for the future.
Yeah. I didn't even ask. I meant to ask like earlier, what brought you to Japan 15 years ago?
It was just a series of coincidences, things that happen, and sometimes I really didn't think about ending up here in Japan, but
Yeah.
things just happen. I mean, meeting people and know other people, connect to other people. At the time, I was in Italy. I had my business in Italy, but I wasn't so happy about that, and I got an offer to stay here in Japan, to work here in Japan, and I said, why not? Maybe 1 year or two. It's a nice experience to do, and then 15 years. So
time flies. Well, it means that it's definitely your place. And have you learned Japanese as well? Or
yeah, not as much as I would like to, but I'm quite a lazy learner, but enough to live and to do everything that I. But I should speak much better, to be honest. But but it's okay. I feel
it's a process. So yeah. And
not in a
any
rush.
other exactly. And any other projects that you're working? I know that you're really like focused on the AR gaming project right now. I'm not really sure that how much time you do have like for other big projects, but are there any other big projects that you can reveal to us at the moment?
I haven't released new artworks in a while, just a small pieces, and I feel like this is also something that as I told you before, I really enjoy the NFT space and all the new art coming through. There's so much inspiration, but at the same time, sometimes you feel like you're losing tracks of things because everything is very, very fast. So the speed is crazy, and you don't know where you're heading. So I took the decision a few months ago to kind of step back and just going back to learn new things and experiment and try new things. So I'm still in this phase of exploration, let's say experimentation, trying to figure out new techniques. And I haven't yet something clear in my mind. It's just experiments for now, but it will probably be some project that will be more cinematic, longer, and closer, I guess, to an interactive movie than a video artwork. But I feel like now there is always this trying to release as much as we can, trying to stay always online, connected, but I feel in the long run it isn't worth it as an artist. So I'm just I don't have a FOMO anymore. I'm kind of going in my own speed, and when it's ready, I will release what I'm doing, and it will be clear. I hope this year to have everything more clear of what I want to do. Yeah.
Definitely. So if you had to, give any suggestions to any artists that, want to take on your path, for example, that are just getting into the space, what would be your biggest suggestion?
I feel to don't take shortcuts. Just work on yourself and don't do something just because it looks nice and it looks, you can do art for yourself and for the other people, but it's a compromise. It's always a compromise between these two things, but never forget it is a compromise, and you have to respect yourself and figure out what you really like, because otherwise it's pointless to just do the same things over and over. You just have to follow, basically what you enjoy. And at the same time, I feel like many times it happened to me as well to receive very good advice from people that I really admired. But sometimes even good advice is like mine, maybe now, they aren't the best thing for you in this moment. Maybe they can work for some people, but maybe for you, they don't work. So always keep this in mind. You will get advices. There will be probably good advice, but always think with your head, is this advice bringing me in direction I don't want to go? Is this the direction I want to go? So really, it's always a ride, but trying to stay, the driving position to see where you're headed, that's the most important thing, I feel.
Absolutely. Staying authentic to yourself at always.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it. Well, Ruben, that's all for me. I'd like to ask you this last question. If you wanted to add anything to the viewers, anything, any curiosity, anything that you'd like to add also in regard to your Valuart solos, or else after that we're gonna close.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited about the exhibition and all the people, the amazing people that I've seen on the list, and it is incredible. And I really hope about the Dissolving Reality series that you will enjoy this world that are captured. That those are real things. Those are real places. 3D scanning places means really capturing reality. Every single points, and I have hundreds of millions of points in my artworks. It is a real place, a real point in a real world. So, and I really sometimes just look at this huge point cloud capture that I do, and really appreciating reality. It's kind of weird, but it feels like when it's captured in 3D, reality feels much more real, I guess. I don't know. Let's say
That does make sense. Yeah, it sort of like expands the perception
there's
of
proof.
it.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
proof of reality in this way. Yeah.
exactly. I love it. Proof of reality. I can't wait then to get in touch with your works and really enjoy them, and looking forward to having you visit our gallery soon as well.
I'd love to. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
It was.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you, Ruben. Have a great evening.
It was a pleasure. You too.